Bruce Trimble of First United Methodist Church.
Yes, as we enter into prayer today, we are remembering saints in our church as we go through this Lenten season, as we head towards Easter. And one of my favorite saints is St. Francis of Assisi. And he penned a prayer that's famous for him, the prayer of St. Francis. And may it be a prayer that we carry with us in this meeting, in our daily walks, and as we look towards Easter. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen. May we have hearts at peace as we enter this meeting, in all of our meetings, in our delegating and lives, as we strive to be a city of justice, joy, and peace for all people. May the peace of my God and your God be with you. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Szymanski, please call your guest.
Yes, Mr. President, it is Girl Scout Cookie Month for one more month, in the month of April, and today I have for us from the Girl Scouts of Southern Alabama, Troop 9791, Troop Coordinator Rosemary Henson, and Grace and Paisley to lead us in today's Pledge of Allegiance.
Y'all give them a round of applause, make them feel comfortable.
May you please put your hand over your heart for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Great job.
Cece came up with that idea. Good job, Cece.
Excuse me. Will you bring them back? We want to get a picture with them.
Yes, that is awesome.
Come right here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, need approval for the March 18, 2025 work session meeting.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Approval for the March 18, 2025 regular council meeting minutes.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
You guys remember that March 18 meeting, right? Same process.
Yes.
All right. Mayor Reed.
Good afternoon. How's everybody?
Good. Good afternoon.
Good. We've got a short message and then just a proclamation we're going to get to real quick, and we'll let you get on with your business. Good to see everybody here out in person and those that are watching virtually. I want to first thank everybody for all the good work that you have been putting in. Spring is here. Seen a lot of crews out in our parks cleaning up. A lot of organizations are already cleaning up the side of the road and that sort of thing. So we want to say thank you for helping keep the city clean. And we want to start off with some exciting news in the public health space. And I want to announce the formation of a Health and Human Services Committee. This initiative stems from our recent Community Health Needs Assessment, which identified critical priorities such as public safety, mental health, and community support. Supported by Partners in Health United States and the Alabama Department of Public Health, the assessment is guiding comprehensive reforms aimed at addressing social vulnerability and improving community wellness. Identifying critical gaps in vital resources and prioritizing interventions that target the root cause of health inequity, the assessment offers evidence-based recommendations for changes that respond to the community's needs. By bringing together stakeholders and community members, we aim to implement a comprehensive plan that addresses these challenges head on. Together we will strengthen our community, support those in need, and ensure Montgomery remains a safe and healthy place for all. Stay tuned to our city website and social media accounts for more information on community engagement opportunities related to this new committee. The City of Montgomery is also in the process of creating and updating an analysis of impediments to the Fair Housing Plan, a process that is done every 5 years in accordance with the Department of Housing and Urban Development standards. The plan scope includes identifying impediments, reviewing policies and practices, assessing public and private sector conditions, developing strategies, and affirmatively furthering fair housing. Part of this process involves community input in the form of a 5-minute survey. The survey and more information about the AI plan can be found at the QR code on the screen. It only takes 5 minutes, I promise. Equitable, fair, and affordable housing is the backbone of a thriving Montgomery where every resident deserves access to a safe, stable home to build their future. Our commitment to accessible housing ensures Montgomery remains a compassionate, progressive city where opportunity is within reach for all, fostering a community that prospers together. We thank you for taking the time to complete the survey. Community input is crucial to the development of this comprehensive plan. I'd like to close out the message with recognition for the Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts Jubilee. 60 years of bending toward justice exhibits. The exhibit offers a glimpse into community celebration, struggle, and persistence in commemoration of the 60th anniversary of Bloody Sunday and the Selma to Montgomery March, and in conjunction with the Selma Is Now Civil Rights Photographs by the legendary Spider Martin exhibition. Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts invited artists of all ages to celebrate our collective history, present and future through art. This community exhibition holds space for a variety of emotions and artistic interpretations of the theme, national and local social justice movements, and invites the viewer to consider the power of individuals and collective action in recognition that March continues. The artwork is on display at Montgomery Museum of Fine Arts Artwork Community Gallery and right here at City Hall, you'll see right outside, until June 1st, 2025. At this time, I'd like to invite many of these artists that are in attendance this evening up for a photo with our City Council as we thank them for their artistic contributions. I want y'all to come on up. Come on. We can do better than that for these young people. Let's give them another round of applause.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they feel. Hey, do we need to shift? Tall people in the front.
We want to thank all these artists again for their contributions to our art scene here in Montgomery, to the museum, and what we will see right here in our City Hall. We're grateful for you. At this time, we'd like to just read part of a proclamation and ask those that are participating to come up and take another picture with our City Council. It's in behalf of Autism Awareness Month. And I won't read all the proclamation, but it's from the City of Montgomery Office of the Mayor proclamation. I think we're getting one from the council as well. So I'll just read part of it. Whereas autism spectrum disorder, ASD, is a complex developmental condition that affects communication, behavior, and social interaction, impacting individuals and families in communities across the nation. And whereas the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that 1 in 36 children in the United States is diagnosed with autism, highlighting the need for continued awareness, acceptance, and support. And whereas individuals with autism contribute to our communities in meaningful ways, and it is essential to promote inclusivity, respect, and opportunities that empower them to reach their full potential. And I'll skip down a little bit, and I'll come right to who is we're going to be honoring here tonight, in part with this proclamation. And whereas Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, Alpha Rho Zeta Chapter is committed to increasing autism awareness, advocating for resources and supporting initiatives that foster understanding, inclusion, and acceptance for individuals with autism and their family. Now, therefore, I, Stephen L. Reed, Mayor of the City of Montgomery, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2025 as Autism Awareness Month. Thank you so much. We ask you all to please come up. All right, Mr. President, that concludes my message. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any questions for the mayor? Mr. President, Mr. Mitchell? I have one thing for the mayor that I wanted to address. Maybe a year and a half ago, I was redistricted and I inherited Taylor Lakes. Mayor, and me inheriting Taylor Lakes, I inherited some of the things that the challenges that they were facing. None of my other neighborhoods have HOAs. So with that being said, I hadn't been able to meet with them. If anybody from Taylor Lakes subdivision is here, will you please stand up? So it's been 2 years, Mayor, that Glenn has helped me try to facilitate a meeting. I have been trying to meet with them just so I can represent them like I represent my 15 to 16 neighborhoods. If you'll come up here just for 1 minute and tell the city and the mayor the issues that we are dealing with. And Glenn, they spoke very highly of you. Thank you for trying to help facilitate, but we have not had a meeting with that neighborhood in 2 years. We tried to meet the other day. We couldn't even use the clubhouse. And I feel like they're being held hostage, and I can't represent them like I represent all my other 22,000 residents in District 6. So, Doc, if you can please take about a minute.
Sure, thank you. Good evening, Mayor Reed and the council. I am Dr. Jonelle McCullough, and I'm a homeowner of Taylor Lakes Community. Accompanying me are a host of homeowners who you've seen standing a second ago in addressing our notably inactive and uncooperative homeowners association managed by Halstead Management, or better known as Taylor Lakes Owners Association Incorporated. Many of the homeowners are displeased with the lack of covenant enforcement and disregard for the established bylaws. Our communication with the members of Halstead have either been ignored or only limited to matters involving the collection of HOA dues or unwarranted penalties related to alleged violations of the clubhouse rental. Simply put, we usually only hear from them when there's money involved. Each homeowner of the 329 lots is expected to pay $860 annually, or up to $1,032, depending on the selected payment option. That totals a significant amount of money to not receive the services outlined in the bylaws to protect and enhance each member's property. The Taylor Lakes Owners Association has not convened an official meeting in years, prompting us to organize our gatherings independently. Their operations lack the characteristics of a formal association, as there is no elected board, no annual meetings, no quorum, and no financial transparency, all of which are elements that are crucial to the definition of an association. According to Webster, an association is an organization of persons having a common interest. We are the persons with properties sharing a common interest, as opposed to Halstead employees arbitrarily making decisions that don't impact them but directly affect us. It's my understanding that this lack of cohesion has even hindered our District 6 Councilman, Aronde Mitchell, from properly representing our community, as he has been met with the disregard by the association. We're asking the city's support with reconciling this inactive HOA as we seek measures to hold them accountable. Overall, we appreciate living in this city, yet we're tired of paying for a service that we're not receiving. Thank you.
Mr. Mitchell, Mr. President, for your HOA location, are they located within the city limits or are they out of state?
Yes, 5655 Troy Highway.
No, Troy Highway.
Man, can I ask you, are they still building in Taylor Lakes, or are they, is it built out?
As far as we know, it's built out at capacity. There may be plans, but as I said, there's no correspondence. We have no idea.
So they haven't turned it over to the neighborhood yet? They still have?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Mr. Mitchell?
I have a question. By y'all's HOA bylaws, they're supposed to have a meeting once a year to give you guys the financials.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not doing that at all?
Not at all. We haven't had any fiscal transparency. There's been no conversation. And when we have attempted to reach out, many of the homeowners that stood have all independently reached out. And we're met with silence.
And they're not allowing you guys to use the clubhouse anymore to have your homeowners meetings?
Well, very recently, and probably because of the traction that has been going on lately, we are allowed to use it as of the 14th of this month. But prior to that, no, we hadn't.
And Mayor, keep this in mind, Taylor Lakes not only pays HOA dues, how many homes do you guys have?
We know that there are 329 lots.
In your neighborhood, Taylor Lakes?
The entire Taylor Lakes.
All right, Sagestone also.
Yeah, I live in Wildwood, which is the back part of Sagestone.
Okay.
That is inclusive.
There's two different spots, and the folks in Sagestone pay the same amount. And I know we don't dictate it, but pay the same amount. They don't even have a way to get to the clubhouse, Mayor, without getting on Vaughn or Taylor Road to go use their clubhouse. Yes. It's been an issue, and I know Aronde's had some difficult times with it, but I think there's some creative things that this council could probably do.
And Mr. President, let me just give you an example. When they did ask for financial, how much you guys was paying for your Wi-Fi?
In 2017, which was one of the last meetings that was ever even held, and it was unofficial for the record, but it was noted that they paid $12,000 for cable, which when I questioned it, I was told it was for Wi-Fi purposes.
And then once you questioned it the next year, what did it drop down to from 12,000 to what?
Well, it hasn't been consistent with the transparency, so up until the most recent, I think it was down to 600. I'm sorry, 6,000, sorry, I left off a zero.
Yeah. And so, Mr. President and Mr. Mayor, and that's the only thing I want to address. It's a lot of things that I want to do for that neighborhood. Mr. Dow just sent out a letter that those neighborhoods that need to do some things in order for me to send money, they were on that list. So simple things like doing cameras, repairing their gate, I can't do it because I can't send the money to anybody. And so I just want to address it because we're having so many new developments coming, new neighborhoods, and I just want to make sure that we understand how this HOA, and I thought for sure that they would have turned it over back to the residents, but they have not. So I just want to make sure that we do address this at some point. We just want a meeting, Mayor. That's the only thing we asking for. We just want a meeting so they can have a seat at the table. Thank you.
So I think what we need to do from a council standpoint, as we move forward, is to draft up a letter from the council, whatever we need to do to send it to the HOA and ask that their president before here to come before the council to explain why they're not involved, and we're going to get involved from a council standpoint. We can talk about it until we try to get them before the council to address this issue. We're just talking.
We also have, I'm going to ask our city attorney to share some information with the homeowners as well.
Well, it sounds like you've already done your homework as far as determining where they are, the fact that they're incorporated. You know, my immediate thought would be it's unfortunate, but you may actually have to end up litigating with them. Do you have the certificate, the formation documents?
I did pull that, yes, we have it.
If you can send me a copy just to take a look at it, I can then talk to your council member and maybe give him some insight on what I see in that.
Absolutely, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Council. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I wonder if that's the issue.
No, you guys got to stay for the full meeting now. You can't leave. No, I'm just kidding. That's an April Fool's joke.
It's terrible.
Steve, that mean you too? Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. All right. Any special committees to report? No special committee. All right. Madam Clerk, item 1.
Mr. President, item 1 and 2 are the council's consent agenda.
All right. We just need a vote.
Yes, sir.
All right. Item number 1, council consent agenda. Need a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand.
We need the motion.
Need a motion, I'm sorry. Need a
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Item 1 and 2 are approved. Item 3, resolution appointing Stuart Haley's to the Housing Authority.
All right. Madam Clerk,
Yes.
I think, I don't see her in the audience. I think she sent the bylaws to you.
She did. I have it up, Mr. President. If that's okay, I can read through it.
Okay, you can read through it.
Okay. So earlier, I've been talking with the chairman of the board for Housing Authority as well as the new interim director, just to get clarifications on the appointments for what's required from HUD. So this is what was sent from the interim CEO and acting president. Said that Montgomery Housing Authority's bylaws as they are needed for discussion in the meeting. As such, please see attached, which she's attached, and Ms. Blaylock does have it so she can forward it to the entire body. But note that according to Article 1, Section 4 provides that the board shall consist of 9 commissioners, one of which shall be a resident of the authority, who shall be appointed by Montgomery City Council. It does not prescribe how the City Council shall appoint the board, only that the Montgomery City Council has the appointment power. So she stated in her opinion, which I'll dive into afterwards, but in her opinion, the method that the council uses to appoint is totally at the council's discretion, only that one member must be a resident. And she did state that she's gonna also send the resolution and amendment that changed because this was amended as of 2019, but they do have the original bylaws as well that Sandy will send, who's her secretary. So, Mr. President, my ask is, because that's our appointment, and because it's appointment of the council, we look at how we do the appointments and state in the appointments, which is only just an amendment from us as a council as a whole, that states that the resident appointment will rotate through the council. And my request, Mr. Szymanski, I know that it's up to you and I right now, but my request is because it's been coming from City Council District 3, that it already rotates. Because we've held that for a while, and it doesn't, and I know we do this as the fairness of the council because it's 9 of us, but my ask is that because I don't think that it's appropriate or fair that it's coming from one council from the appointment of a council that has previously passed away. And I understand the legitimacy of that at that time, but I think that we need to have it in writing because handshake deals or things like that just isn't of transparency for the council. And we should have this in black and white and in writing and do this as a rotation. So my request is that I move away from, oh, she's walking in, oh, there she is now. But my request is that, but even though she's walking in, that's not of their authority, that's our authority. So we make that decision. We don't need them to tell us because we appoint to that board and she reports to that board. So that's just my take and my request from the council, but that this is a fair process and I think that District 3 has done its appointments enough as residents.
Okay. All right.
Mr. President, I would just point out that I've got an appointment that's vacant. I mean, we're holding up, the position here in District 7. I've got a great appointee He's ready for the role. This is my first time appointing anybody to this authority. I understand, and I actually believe that the rotation of this is potentially, some way for us to go. We've got to take a look at how we're going to do that and holding them up on this appointment. My appointment has until, I think, June, is it, Ms. Blaylock? I'd like to at least get a little understanding, because my previous, without getting into it, person and I did not discuss Montgomery Housing Authority matters, and so I'd like to at least have some eyes and ears on a couple of board meetings before, I'm told that we're having to shift the way we're doing our appointment. And so I'm happy to have the discussion. I'm happy to have, I know we can't just add a appointee appointed by another authority or by the housing authority itself. I believe we're not allowed to do that unless we make that board like 19 people or something like that. So I'm happy to do that, but I'm still going to be requesting that we vote and accept the nomination for Stuart Hales to be my housing authority appointee to the housing authority.
All right, thank you, Mr. Szymanski and Ms. Johnson, but I think what we're gonna do on these two appointments, we're gonna table those indefinitely, because what needs to happen, we can't jeopardize HUD funding of the housing authority because we can't come to an agreement. So within the next 2 weeks, we're gonna draw up an ordinance on how those appointments will be established to be voted on by this council as we move forward. So this won't come into play in the near future or in the future. And I understand what Ms. Johnson saying, District 3 council person at the time had a residence, and I think we need to look at this wholeheartedly on how we come up with the process or how that one resident appointment is assigned to the Housing Authority Board. And when you look at it alternative, my thinking would be based on the residence itself, because those are voting residents within the city of Montgomery, and then not to have a district wherever the population lies. That's why I think, and just me talking right now, but it's something that I want to work with legal as we bring this before and bring it before the council before we vote on these two appointments. Because I don't think it's fair for District 7 to vote tonight and not District 3 until we come up with a process on how we go forward.
Mr. President, as I said before, I've not had a housing authority appointee that I've put in. I'd like to have the opportunity to have somebody, as I said, my appointment is up for reappointment in June, so I have 2 months of meetings that I could add some.
I'm in the same situation.
I think multiple of us are up in June, and so I'm just asking to keep this thing moving forward, to allow for my appointee to have a vote for tonight.
Okay, we're gonna table these two indefinitely for 2 weeks until we can come up with the resolution on how we go forward on these appointments. I'm not willing to take the risk of jeopardizing our funding with HUD and the Housing Authority based because we got personalities up here on what we need to appoint. We got to look at the whole picture here on how we move forward. And I know everybody wants to make their appointment, but we need to look at where we're gonna come and set the precedent on how this appointment will come up in the near future. So,
but I have Mr. President, I have a vacancy in my. It was not my decision to have my person removed or to resign from the Housing Authority, and so as I said, I already have a natural timeline by which this term would be up, and then we could discuss, moving forward on that. So as I said, I'd like to take a vote on this and see what the will of the council is.
and I'm saying we're tabling this for 2 weeks, and that's the call of the chair.
Well, if he
We can
wants
get a
to
consensus.
call for a vote to challenge it, he can,
Okay,
sir.
we can call for a vote on holding this up for 2 weeks until we can get something from legal as we move forward. So,
Well, Mr. President, there's a difference between being indefinite and 2 weeks. If you're saying it's 2 weeks, then that's fine with me, but originally you said indefinitely postponing.
Well, I said 2 weeks in the beginning, and so what I'm trying to do is get something before this council that we can vote on, and we can move forward.
You said table indefinitely first. 'Cause that's
Okay,
what
well, I'll pull that motion.
For 2 weeks?
To
Yeah,
carry
2
over
weeks.
to the next meeting?
Yeah, for 2 weeks. And I did it for 2 weeks for the two council people to have a conversation over the last 2 weeks, but I see I'm gonna need to facilitate this conversation how we move forward. So that's what we'll do. We'll table it for 2 weeks.
Well, Mr. President, I think if we're going to be changing the rules, one of the things I was wondering is...
We'll get a chance to vote on the rules as we present it in the ordinance. So,
I know, but I'm just asking for clarification, is that just so it's clear out there that we have a requirement from HUD that the Housing Authority Board must have an individual who resides in a property that is part of the Housing Authority's
I
purview.
think we just read that.
Yep, I got you.
Or Section 8.
Or Section 8.
Or
Right.
Section 8 housing. They
Right.
they can be someone that receives Section 8 financing.
Or Section 8 funding, so
Yes,
that
sir.
expands beyond districts that just have people that, okay.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Okay, so 3 and 4 are carried over to the next agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
Item 5, resolution appointing Councillor Calhoun, the voting delegate, Councillor Johnson, the first alternate voting delegate, and Councillor Mitchell as the second voting delegate to the Alabama League Conference, May the 13th through the 16th.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 6, resolution authorizing the issuance of a business license to Snack Man with no physical location using a pickup truck.
All right, representative for Snack Man, Mr. Foster, Joe Foster. No, Mr. Foster, we carried it.
I talked to him personally, so he needs to be here.
Okay, we carried the item over.
Item 7, resolution authorizing the issuance of a business license doing business to Tobacco and Beverage 3 at 4220 Mobile Highway.
All right, Mr. Shahad, yes, come on forward. Okay, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward.
No, sir, it's not a public hearing. This was brought by the revenue.
Oh, this is to change the business license, okay.
Yes, so this is revenue forwarded this for the council's
All right,
action.
Ms. Riley.
Okay, Revenue, can you come on up? We have already had a discussion. Good evening, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Go ahead.
What you got, Bob?
Turn it over to one of our compliance officers, please.
You got 2 minutes.
What we have here is it's my understanding that they had here we go. Currently a change of some corporate members within the already existing corporate entity. And as such, we're asking that the council review this. It's my understanding, I think there were some taxes due. That has been cleared up.
The tax has been cleared up? Yes. All right, so what we waiting on? All right, Ms. Riley?
All right, I'm good. We've already met. We're gonna meet again. I appreciate y'all for wanting to do business and get everything transferred the correct way. And since we got everything taken care of, I'm good with it, Mr. President.
I need a motion.
Need a motion to adopt.
Suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Need a motion to adopt.
You want me to ask that question?
I just said it.
Need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
That's a lot of
Resolution is adopted.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Item 8, application for retail beer and retail table wine off premises only, doing business as Gibson Food Mart, 2440 Lower Wetumpka Road.
Owners for Gibson Food Mart, please come forward. Your name for the record, sir.
Ashish Patel.
All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone like to speak against this item, please come forward.
They had outstanding taxes. That's been cleared up.
Been cleared up, okay. All right. Seeing none, declare the public hearing has been held as proper before the council.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Have a motion to suspend the rules. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
Good luck with your business, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Item 9, appeal of proposed demolition of a business sign at 3447 Norman Bridge Road by Ed Fleming, representing Ms. Dixon.
Mr. Fleming?
Good afternoon, council.
Good afternoon. Your name for the record, sir?
Ed Fleming with Hodges Commercial Real Estate. I'm
All right.
here representing Ms. Dixon, who's applying, trying to open up a daycare center at 3447 Norman Bridge Road. She'd like to use a sign out front if possible.
All right, so what's your appeal? What's your appeal? Okay, what you got, sir?
Sir,
to respond to any questions that you might have. This is
All right.
a sign.
So you're appealing the removal of the sign?
Sir?
Are you appealing the removal of the sign?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just to give us a chance for her to get opened up and see if she can use it. Yes, sir.
So what we're trying to tear the sign down.
Yes, sir.
And so we have a demolition order on removing the sign?
Sir?
We have a demolition order on,
Yes, sir.
so is it down?
No, sir. It's still standing. It's behind you.
So do we have an estimated time on when we're gonna tear it down?
As soon as everybody approves it and we get it bid out, we'll take it down.
So you give them 30 days to,
When are they opening the daycare?
I mean, for an appeal, it had already came before the council, right? He's appealing something that we already voted on.
That's correct.
right.
So, I mean, if you guys need to work that out, we can move on.
We just need to give them a extensive time to get us.
You got something?
Mr. President, what's the plan for the
Ed, what
sign
you
moving
need?
forward?
Sir?
Are you saying you have a tenant that's interested in the building that wants to utilize the sign?
Yes, for a daycare center.
Do we have any idea what the timeline is for when they'll be in?
Or what the name of her business?
No, when they'll be inside the building?
Oh, well, she's got everything ready. She's just waiting on DHR. So I'd say within 60 days. I mean, the building inside is ready, new electrical, new floors, new ceiling tile, new everything else. And she's already started putting her stuff in there, so.
Okay.
But my point, what I'm asking is the sign gonna interfere with her moving into the building?
No,
She wants to use it.
She wants to save the sign.
We'd like the opportunity to give her a chance to use the sign because it is so prominent if she'd like to.
So,
Mr. President.
Mr. Tate.
You guys at the council have given us a mandate to clean this town up.
Yes.
So we're gonna start making exceptions and have the sacred cows let us know what they are before we tag. Okay? This has been before the council. You guys have approved to have these guys move forward with removing that sign, and that's what I would like for you to move forward.
And that's what I said in the beginning. We already voted on this, so.
But Mr. President, the only thing that's different this time, though, is when we voted on it the last time, this was a assumed to be vacant building that's been vacant for a long time. The fact that it's getting a business going inside of it that wants to now utilize the sign, it's use new business. If this is now, if this isn't real and this is just to keep the sign, then by all means take it down. But if there's somebody that has now come forward and wants to use it for a daycare facility, I understand the need to be able to advertise the daycare. And if you can see right behind, it's in an area that's got plenty of other blighted buildings as well. And so, if this is coming online, I think if the business is happening, then giving them the opportunity to have a usable sign seems relevant.
Let me, Mr. President, let me ask a question.
Can we confirm if
This deal.
this request that the petitioner has a business license?
Yeah, I mean I'm more, this is in District 7, so I'm pretty sure it's in District 7. It's on the right side of the road. I can't remember if it's me. Okay. Again, I'm with you. If it's not going to be utilized and utilized very quickly, then I'm fine with taking it down. It's just that if it is a business that is coming online, a daycare especially, that wants to advertise in a building that's
for my clarity, council, and because we spend a lot of resources going after these types of situations here in this city, if there's some clarity that can be made when it comes to exceptions to these sorts of things, I'd like to know what they are before we go in and start tagging these things, because we spend a lot of time, spend resources, you guys vote on it, and then now we get to this point to where we're making exceptions, and that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Where are we with the sacred cows? Because at some point, if you want us to clean the town up, then let us know. If you want us to begin to have spots where we shouldn't be touching things, I'd like to know that too. But right now, we're going to go through here as promised to take care of what's going on in this city.
Mr. President, can I ask a question?
Mr. Grimes, yes, you may.
Mr. Fleming, when did you get the lease signed for this building?
I'm glad you asked.
Well, while he's looking for that, if you look at the sign, it looks like there's a police sign still on the sign. So I don't know.
Well, the sign is not leaning. I don't know the picture looks like that, but it's not.
I didn't say leaning. I mean, that look, it's still for lease.
as we speak, so I'm
Well,
not sure
I
what
know.
the message
He
is.
just hadn't took that
We
down.
generally leave the sign up till we get everything complete. But anyhow, the lease was signed on February the 10th
February.
of this year,
Mr. President.
2025. And I think the issue happened, the city sent us a letter, said it was a grass ordinance to start with, and they had an error on that, and then turned around and sent the letter back on the sign after that. We only got on this last 2 weeks ago, I think.
Mr. President. Yeah, Mr. President, it's just a little common sense question, because that is steel. And that's gonna take quite a bit of money to adjust, and if it's on the demolition list. Common sense, because of visibility, and it looks like that's a good structural building. The sign, if she can pay, or he can pay for a steel welding, they can adjust and put a sign on the building, and it'll still be highly visible. And I just think it just makes more sense, because that sign, it looks terrible. And even, it is a site for sore eyes, and it'll take a while. And you saying that was signed in February, and there's still some things happening inside the building. I don't see why they can't utilize the building for signage instead of worrying about paying for steel. And if they're leasing, that's not even a good usage of money for someone leasing a building to do some welding on the steel sign, unless Hodges is doing it.
Excuse me, Mr. President. Who's got to pay to take that sign down? Because that's not a cheap sign to get down. You got a concrete block on, concrete foundation on that thing. And power source to it also.
So what will happen, Councilor Jenright, is that will be on the bid list for contractors to give our guys a cost to take the sign down. That particular cost will eventually get passed on to the property owner in the form of a lien.
So if they want to keep it, it's going to cost them either way.
Amen.
So again, I think we have an appeals process so that we can review this, obviously a unique opportunity, because now we have a business wanting to go into the building, right? And so they want to utilize this sign, I assume clean it up, rather than, and spend the money doing that, rather than spending the money to have it removed. Have you made investments on the inside of the building as well to prepare it for?
$10,000 worth of AC, all new tile, all new ceiling tiles, bathrooms, commodes, everything.
So we've got a building that, and if they're going to utilize the sign, I understand the process, and trust me when I say, this is not about being sacred cows. This is about somebody who's come with a unique set of circumstances because they've now leased the building since we've made the decision. And so, as I was saying before, I think, giving them the opportunity to produce a business license and get that thing opened up within 60 days, and if not, we're tearing the thing down.
Well, I want to say this to be clear, absolutely clear. If we're going to set this as a precedent, then let's get ready to stand before you every single council meeting with appeals. If you look at the volume of properties that we're bringing before you now, it has tripled since this time last year. So if this is the route we want to go, that's fine, but let's be sure that if this is the ultimate goal of making these kinds of decisions at your level, then my guys have spent a lot of time, I think, in vain.
Mr. President, may I say something?
Ms. Robin?
Okay. We did a cleanup, is what we called it, when we was going through tagging all of these signs that wasn't being used. We did this months and months ago. And if that's the case, we need to bring everybody back up in here whose sign we took down because they did not comply with what was supposed to be done. I think that these signs need to go because we're trying to unify our city and look decent and in order. And I agree with you, Mr. Kipite, on what we're gonna keep making exceptions for. Why? We can't keep doing that. We are doing something that we're trying to make the city look better and grow our city. These signs need to go.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. President, one last thing.
Mr. Grimes.
Kippy and I agree with you. We all want the signs down. They look terrible, the buildings. When you got a building, though, all that takes is a little sandblasted and primed, and then you got something to put a sign on, and you put these people way down the road. If they go from scratch, that's probably $20,000 to build that. They can probably get that done for $2,500. Now, if they cannot get it done, then we need to tear it down. Ed, do you think that, Mr. Fleming, you think they can get it done? You don't know at this point.
Well, that would be the thing. It's really up to the lady leasing the store that's gonna do it. And whether she wants to do it. Part of her application with DHR is that she has to have a place to put the sign up as part of her application.
Okay.
Well, here's one thing we're forgetting. As part of this process, this is an after the fact appeals. There's an appeal process built within the time frame that's prescribed in our process. These are after the fact appeals. That's the first thing. Second of all, there's plenty of places to put a sign without it being on this sign structure right here, which would probably be a lot cheaper than what it would be to fix this sign for her purposes. And I'm just simply saying, for consistency's sake, one, that we come up with a way to deal with these without making exceptions like this, because at some point, we're gonna let everybody out of the back door who comes up here. And that's gonna be a rule that you guys will have to come up with to make these assessments.
Mr. President, one thing I heard Mr. Hodges say was that Mr. Fleming say was, if she can use it. So they're gonna give her an opportunity to see what she can do. The key word he used was if she can use it. We gotta do what we did months ago, because we've been getting these signs down and we've taken care of this before. And I thank you all so much for what you all been doing.
And the question before, you gonna uphold the appeal, you gonna move forward. So we had enough discussion on this item, so it's up to what you're doing. I have my own opinion. The building is being leased, not the sign. And, there's plenty of places that we can put the signs. It's not in my district, but it's in the city of Montgomery. And if we're gonna set a precedent that we're trying to clean up, we got 30 properties on item number 10. There's probably gonna come up and be some appeals on that, on bad properties. Are we gonna hold those up for 60 days or 30 days? I understand the lease. You the council person for that district, you have to uphold talking to your constituents on it. But the building can be used without the sign. You can get temporary signs put out. If that's something, a requirement that public health is requiring, you get a temporary sign put out in front of the building.
No, I understand, and as I said, if they're not utilizing the sign's got to go. That's the thing. So all I'm asking for is if we wait until the next meeting, have the owner of the business come out and let us know if she's got a plan to utilize the sign. If not, it's got to go.
You want to hold it up 2 weeks?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good idea.
Carry it over for 2 weeks then.
Carry it over to the next
Mr.
meeting.
Fleming, it'd be nice to have the business owner come out and produce and let us know what they're actually going to do with the sign over there, because otherwise it's going to have to come down.
So you want me to do what now?
So can we jump in here and ask a question then?
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, let's have some signed contracts in place that will actually confirm that
she can pay for
the
it.
path forward is solid. So are we saying a contract that she has with someone to place a sign in place? Or what commitment will that particular person have to show you to show that they're serious about the sign? That's the question that we would have.
No, I think that's a good and relevant question, and actually. Yeah, I think what I'd like to see is, as long as it meets the design standards of the city, I'd like to see the sign itself, and if you've got, and the vendor that's going to be used to produce it. The only reason that, Mr. Grimes is right, that's an expensive thing to try and replace. They've already put the money in, they've got the business coming online, it's a daycare facility, I don't want the daycare to then have to be the people, the ones that are absorbing the cost. And so if they've got a sign and they've got a plan to put a sign up, then they can put a sign up. We didn't make that request before, and if they don't, then it's got to come down.
I guess what we would like to see is a signed contract that substantiates the intent.
Yeah, it seems relevant.
Well, can I ask one question? Does she have to get it from the city designated sign person, or can she get her own contractor to do the sign?
She can get her own contractor.
I think as long as it's a legitimate business that's in the sign business with a legitimate contract, we have no issue there. We just want to be sure that if you're going to give this exception, at least give us some confirmation that there's a contract.
That works for me, and that's fair. Again, it's an appeal because there's a change to the situation in that building.
Mr. President, I'd like to pose a question. Mr. Tate, is there a possibility, just because I know, Ed, you do a really good job with what you do, but how many of those signs are Hodges? So that way we won't be placed in this situation again, and if it's a tentative leaser, that if that's their responsibility or if it's on Hodges' property because they're leasing, their responsibility. So we won't have to be doing this dance every time a property is leased out.
And I thank you for the question. We'd have to do the research to see which
I'd love
ones
to
are
know.
specific to this particular company. I don't have that answer, and
I know. Well, in a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
And that could be, it doesn't have to be here. That way, we can get with Ed and you'll know, so this way, there isn't this thing, and that way if, I know Hodges could easily get that done with welding, and let's just get it done, so we won't have to worry about any other property.
Yes, ma'am, and I appreciate all the back and forth, and sorry we got messed up with the other letter to us, but I'm just trying to help this young lady. This is their first daycare center, and we've had 3 or 4 come through here, and we've got most of them up and running now. The one on Atlanta Highway, I went by there today, and she's ready to go. She's taking applications. The one on Governor Square, out at by Gunner Field, she's ready to go. So we've got 3 or 4 that people have stepped forward to do the daycare business, and it just takes a little while to get it all put together. So I appreciate all the back and forth, and we'll try to do better.
Mr. President, I'd like to leave and we'll sit down. I'm just asking the council not to take the wind out of the effort. You gave us a mandate, we're following the mandate. Please don't take the wind out of the effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tate.
All right. Mr. Szymanski, what was your?
Carrying it over, and Kimmy mentioned just having a contract in place that says what the intended assignment is to be.
Okay, it's the consensus of the council that we carried it over 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. Items carried over till the next meeting.
You hear it, Ed?
Item 10.
Carried over.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Carrying it over, Ed. Carrying it over.
Thank you so much.
2 weeks.
Thank you for all the time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 10, pursuant to Section 1153B1 Code of Alabama, authorization of demolition of unsafe structures at the listed locations.
All right, need a motion?
Mr. President, one before we make that motion, can Robert Morgan, can you check the address for 1721 Foster Street? I just was made aware that may be the wrong address that's tagged. So with the exception of 1721 Foster Street, so we can make sure it is the right address.
He coming.
Verify the address.
All right, got a motion on the floor?
Mr. President, before we do that,
Yes.
the 33 West Fred Gray Avenue, Mr. Mayor, that is a antebellum house that's on the National Historic Registry. I got contacted today by a couple of different groups. I spoke to Frank Robinson earlier, mentioned it to Kippy as well. I'm not trying to make major exceptions, but this is a historically very important house. If there's no objection to the council, I'd like to give us 30 days to make sure that.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, obviously, until it comes up before this, you crowdsource this information. They read it in the news, and it's called the Op House.
Hey, I think I got a suggestion how we fix it. Let's work the total city with the exception of District 7.
Perfect.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I mean, if you want to tear it down, I'm not trying to gum up the works on this one.
We can check on the historic structure.
So can I pull that one for 30 days, please?
All right.
I already spoke to Mr. Robinson. We're going to meet on it, make sure that it is what we think it is before we tear it down.
All right. Item 30,
But now, can I say this? Because now, this does open up another, and those on the council who've been up there a while know this. Now, you get the historic preservationists now, and you can't ever touch anything in the city.
No, I know.
Nothing is ever moved, nothing is, so if we're gonna do it, it just has to be that they have to have a plan, or whoever's the owner has to have a plan, an immediate plan to
100%.
change the look. If we're gonna preserve it, then that doesn't just mean it sits and rots. That means that
100%.
they have to have a plan, or we will not get through the things that you all want us to get through.
Well, and I think for this one, it's some interested individuals who just wanted to look at the opportunity. And trust me, I've been wearing out the inspections department about all 3 of the properties over there, wanting to see them gone. They're a huge headache for me in that area and for the neighbors over there. But it's on the National Historic Registry. We should at least make sure.
Councilor Szymanski, if I may speak, as the building official for the city, that plan also has to be approved by our office. Particularly these particular structures that you mentioned are in dire needs of repairs, and so the cost to rehab these particular properties is going to be pretty significant. So that plan will definitely have to have a budget that aligns with the necessary repairs.
That's reasonable. What they gonna do with that 33?
It wasn't the last one. What were they gonna do? What they gonna do? Let it sit there for 10 more years?
I just said that they have some
Okay. All right. So, all right, we have a motion on the floor. With
Okay,
this.
are we withdrawing that one, or are we leaving it?
I mean, I think we can we just vote on it, and then if they find out that it's on the historic register, then we can't do anything with it, and if it's not, then we can move forward with it.
Because I think there is a procedure when it is designated a historic district that prohibits the city from doing anything without their permission.
Okay.
I'm not real versed in that, and I don't see anyone here that's that knowledgeable of it. Mr. Adams may know.
Ms. Blaylock, I actually asked the building official, really doesn't give us any verbiage that really delineates whether it's on the historical register or not. If it is an unsafe structure, it does give us the jurisdiction to address those properties in a proper manner from a demolition standpoint.
I hope so, because I said here, there's some meetings where we've had some hot debates over that one. But anyway.
You got something for me, Mr. Warren?
No, only if it's on the local register of historic places. Normally it has to go to the Architectural Review Board. If it's on the national register, there isn't a requirement necessarily to do that, but it is correct, the building official can override any historic designation if a property is in a dangerous condition. I would ask that we are maybe just given some time just to speak to the Alabama Historical Commission and see if there's other opportunities to save this house if people are interested. But really, if it is a dangerous hazard, the building official has the final say. But as I do oversee the Preservation Office, obviously it would be good to be given an opportunity to see if it potentially can be saved. But I'll leave the decision up to you.
Okay. What are we doing?
Can we just pull it for 30? Again, I've wanted this building gone for a long time. It wasn't until it got published in the paper and then I had a bunch of people calling me about the historic nature of the property that I just wanted to make sure. And if we have somebody who is interested in, they get 30 days or else we just move forward. I'm not drawing this process out.
All right, well, we have a motion on the floor.
No, sir, we don't.
I thought we did.
No, sir.
Motion to oppose with the exception of 33 West Fred D. Gray with the research and the verification of the address of 1721 Foster Street.
All right, you heard the motion. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
All right.
Okay, so we're just asking for verification on those?
Yes.
Yes.
And if it's not, we can bulldoze them down.
Item 11 is resolution designating nuisance abatement agent.
We need a motion to suspend the rules.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted. Item 12, resolution declaring, authorizing, and assessing cost of abatement of public nuisances on various lots.
Need a motion?
Mr. Calhoun,
Mr.
I'd like to pull some of these out of this. I'm just kidding.
April
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Resolution is adopted.
All right, we have one more item.
Yes, sir, I have one that the council needs to consider. It's an ordinance vacating a public alleyway on a portion of Clayton, State, Montgomery, and Wilkinson Street.
Move to suspend the rules.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous.
Move to adopt.
Wait a minute.
Hang on, one minute. All the property owners good with this?
Yeah, they
They
got
have to
signatures.
petition.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I hadn't read, we just got this, so I didn't read through it.
It's all done.
It's been through the process and been through planning.
That's fine, that's fine.
All right, we got a motion on the floor. Mr. Pruitt,
Move to adopt.
all in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous. Ordinance is adopted. Council, I have a few contingencies for District 2, 500 to MPS for Percy Julian flag football, 500 to MPS for Percy Julian ambassadors, 500 to MPS for Percy Julian girls basketball, 500 to Percy Julian's 9th grade cheerleaders, $480 to His Vessels Ministries, $1,000 to Capitol Heights Middle School Teachers Initiative, that'll be MPS also, For Councillor Pruitt, $1,000 to Dresses in Pink, $1,500 to Brighton Estates Neighborhood Association.
All right, Ms. Blaylock, I'd like to do $1,200 to, what was the group that was singing?
Montgomery Crowd.
Montgomery Crowd.
Okay.
Anybody else? 4. Ms. Blaylock, I'll do 2,000 to the Montgomery Corral.
Okay.
Ms. Blaylock, District 2, 1,000 to Montgomery Corral.
Okay. Is that all?
No, ma'am. 2,000 to McGee Place.
McGee Place Neighborhood Association?
Yes, ma'am. Montgomery Sings. You have them on the vendor list?
Who?
Montgomery Sings.
S-I-N-G?
S-I-N. Yes. S-I-N-G-S.
No, sir, I do not see them.
I might have it wrong.
Oh, that's it. So they may have to do that paperwork.
Okay. All right, we'll skip that. We'll come back. And $1,000 to JAG High School.
Okay.
And you're gonna need that back. That's actually a good school.
I know, what they need? Who did the stage?
Anybody else?
Mr. President, I want to do 500 to Dresses for Pink.
All right, you got that?
Yes, sir.
You want to take it?
Yes, you want to.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Take the JAG check out of District 7, not 5.
Instead of District 5.
I said not 5.
See if they come.
Take it out.
Okay, so you're not doing JAG.
For me.
District 7 is going to do JAG.
Yes, thank you.
Is that all?
Anyone else? All right, need a motion?
Motion to adopt.
All in favor, please raise your hand.
Unanimous?
Any council member have anything else before we adjourn this meeting?
I've got one thing, CC. I have been worn out this week by commercial realtors that people breaking in the building, vandalizing, starting fires, a whole start. We got a really nice building on Eastern Boulevard that the 2 tenants have moved out. One moved out. Homeless people broke in, totally vandalized the other half. Now the other tenants breaking their lease and getting out. We're losing good money, and the owner of the building's out of state, but somebody local, they probably lost 50% of their value. And these people are starting fires. Is anybody in the fire department here? Can we, anyway, we could have something, if somebody starts a fire inside a building or within, we could charge them with arson? Well, we're not charging with arson. I mean, they're burning stuff all the time in these things. And they're burning up some things. Yeah, they're burning everywhere. That's what happened in Atlanta Highway. My question is, some of these people breaking in these buildings. We had off the Atlanta Highway, Angel of the Elderly, they started the fire, probably the homeless people the other day. They burned inside of structures and different things. Can we charge them from arson if we see them burning inside of a building or close to a structure that's not theirs?
We can charge them with arson if they burn the building and somebody's inside the building.
But just to burn the building, we can't charge them with arson?
Well, it wouldn't be arson first. We could probably charge them with maybe like criminal mischief or something like that, but you couldn't charge them. You couldn't put an arson charge.
Okay. That was my question. Thank you, sir.
Mr. President, I do have 2 things. Oh, he didn't step away. Ma'am?
Go ahead.
For one, if you all check your email, council and Mr. Mayor, ALM has launched the online training for the certified municipal official. so we can get our hours. Those that can't attend in person, you can now do it online. It officially launched today. Secondly, myself and Councillor Riley spoke with Flock this week. They are in conversations with Chief Grayboys, Mr. Reed, I believe, and we're working out something. I know that was a big concern for all of us across districts on how we were being billed. And so we are working through that, and we should have something in the coming month on how we can rectify that. But right now, it's actually a mess, and we're trying to work through that. So that way, those dollars that we're receiving to go towards that may be something we can discuss in public safety on how we can fund that together and just let MPD handle those security cameras, since they already have the Star Watch and it's already going to be interconnected. I think that would be our best option. And so,
So us buying the cameras and run them through Star Watch?
And letting the money and everything go through Star Watch and let MPD handle it. So we're waiting. We just spoke with them this week, so we'll follow back up and see where Chief Grayboys is in the process, and we'll come back with a definite.
So, I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Also, Pro Tem, I have something. Mr. Reed, I want to thank you all for the great event we performed for our 60th anniversary this side of the bridge. I just want to give everybody who participated in there a round of applause. That's from the maintenance department, sanitation, everyone who put their hands involved in it. It turned out to be a great success, and I want everybody to know this side of the bridge means a lot to our city, especially on our historical trail, and I'm asking everyone to put your knowledge in, put your input in, and teach your history. It was so exciting for my grandson to be here this week, and the first thing he comes in and he talks about Alabama history, what he's learning in Tennessee. And that's what he was so excited about, being on the trail. I've actually taken him through the trail for him to see it, and he's been just asking questions about, you know, grandmama, they stepped here, who was there. So that's one reason why it's important for us to talk about our own city and put our city in the front seat, because other people are talking our history and we're not putting our history out there ourselves. So we've got to uplift our city. And this side of the bridge, the 60th anniversary, awesome, great from Friday all the way through Sunday. The march was remarkable. The concert was beautiful. And just to see a lot of people collaborate and work together to make this a success, I want to give hands up to the city of Montgomery for what you all did.
Thank you, Ms. Riley. I would like to say this, Councilwoman Riley, we thank you for your support through the process. You were there with us hand in hand from the very beginning, and we would just want to thank you for your support and lending your guidance also to the team as we prepared for the event. So I want to say thank you to you also.
Thank you. And also we have some extra tokens that I want to make sure that if you want to pass out for the 60th, we still got some. Y'all can get one if you didn't get one.
We got to move on.
Mr. President.
Ms. Beard.
On April the 12th, which is Saturday, not this Saturday, but the next, District 2 will be having a Easter egg hunt at the Exchange Park on Colson Boulevard, right next to the library. So anybody can come. We'd love to have you there from 10 to 11:30.
You gonna have real eggs?
Do what now?
You'll have real eggs?
I got some golden eggs, but if you need a red egg, we've got it. We've got the Easter bunnies coming. Cece can wear the costume.
This two got that one. All right, on our public communication.